Oh, what a glorious thing to be a healthy, grown-up, busy bee, whiling away the passing hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop for this number 8 in the series on the low-profile rotary table. In this one I shall be making the majority, if not all, of the ancillary parts. But before we do that, let's go over to the workbench and I'll show you a quick update on what I've been up to in between the last and this episode. Here we are then over at the workbench. Not a lot to show, but it has taken quite a long time. I've been busy on the engraving machine, as you can see, putting the numbers on the vernier plate. I've also been round and smoothed off the edges, putting a bit of a champron here and there. And that is complete now. I've also put the oilite bearing in the table itself. That needed cutting down. Stays a little proud, but that's intentional. Part of the ancillary parts are the table support pads. These are brass, as you see, 10mm in diameter, and a 5mm spigot. These are fitted in the base plate in the pre-drilled holes, and they provide support and steady the underside of the table. Additionally, the locating pin design has changed a little here from when I first drew it. The grabby bit is a little bit longer, and all that fits in the holes in the vernier, which engage with the holes in the table. But first up will be the table clamps. These also have a brass pad inserted so that when it bears down on the table it gives some protection, so there's not steel on steel movement. The table clamps themselves are pivoted on a 4mm diameter pin, and the retaining bolt screws down so that it exerts pressure on the plate. All will become clear, I hope. We take up the story back at the mill. I have two pieces of, are actually 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, which is near enough for the clamps to the design 12mm wide. I've already faced them to length, set the 0 on the DRO to the centre line and the end here. I'm now about to drill the pivot hole through the centre. I'm going to spot it first, drill it 3.5, and then a ream 4mm. Here we go. Right, I'm going to set the distance from the end at 3.5mm. Spot drill. Change out the collet. Forgot to get the drill out, sorry about the delay. A little bit of the easing it juice. And then I'll ream it through. I also forgot to get out the reamer, so I'll do that off camera, and then we'll come back and do the rest of the machining. Well, I'm not actually going senile, but not only did I forget to get the 4mm reamer out, I forgot that I haven't got a 4mm reamer, so it's going to have to be a plain old drill hole, I'm afraid. Luckily it's not a close tolerance, and accuracy is not paramount. But there we go. Here we go through. That's that bit done. Right, now milling down to depth. I've just taken a shaving off the top just to get it nice and square. We're down to 12mm deep now, 3mm more to take off, and this part's done. Helps if you apply a little more feed. And go in the right direction. I fear I may have been a little too aggressive with the depth of cut there, and got the dreaded shakes back again. However, I'll persevere, do the rest off camera just in case, and come back when it's all done. Last cut. Cleaning up the clamps to the right depth. Right, on to the next procedure. And that operation was milling the cutout on the end. I forgot to switch on the video camera, sorry, so that's now finished to size. And the next operation is to drill the through holes for the pads and the securing screws there. I'll try and remember to switch the camera on next time. Right, now as you recall, the stock that I'm using is actually Imperial and is 1/2 inch wide. In order to lay these screws out without doing a load of maths, I've swapped the DRO readout from millimeters to inches, zeroed it so that the corner there is 0, 0. I'm now going to move the table in by 1/4 inch, 125. It's even more difficult than doing it in millimeters. I'm not used to that. That doesn't look right. Because 1.125 is 1/8 of an inch, not 1/4. Silly boy. Well, 0.25. Now it's got to come in the X direction by 4.5 millimeters, so back to millimeters for the time being. What did I say? 4.5, isn't it? Yep. Measure twice, cut once. 4.5. Spot. Back to inches. Now we want another 1/2 inch, which, if I remember correctly, is 0.5. Making a grand total of 0.75 from 0. Now, just check that looks about right. Yep. Spot. Spotting drill for 4 millimeter. The chuck up. We jolly well go. That's those two holes done. Although before I can move on to do the other two screw holes, I'll swap this out for a countersink just to clean those up. I'll do that off camera. Okay, I've moved the parallels so that I don't drill into them when I go through the blocks. I'm having to go gently because they're only supported by the friction of the drawers. Drawers? No, they're jaws. And the parallels just under the end here. So I'll just swap them through. Yep, that's right. What an inch. This is a 6mm hole, so I'm going to have to change out the collet as well. I'll draw those off camera as well and countersink them, and when you come back it'll all be done. There we are. That's the last of the operations done. I've countersunk the holes on the top as well. These are now finished, apart from chamfering the edges and cleaning up a little bit of flash there, I think. Otherwise they're done. I'm about to start making the first of the 8 pads for the table. I've swapped out the carbon insert for a polished one, which is normally used on aluminium. I'm hoping it's going to give a good finish on the brass. We'll have to see. Touch off on the outside. It's a bare 12mm. Now these need to be 4mm. To a depth of 9. And take it to 10. So we're doubling up the depth of cut. Right, let's just check that for rounditude. And we've got just knocked it. That's 8.1. So we take another 2.1. I think I'll swap to micrometer. So I want a nice fit in that hole. And there we go. We have, so you can see that. .1, 3.5. So let's try and get that a bit closer to a whole number. That's 1.5. Come on. Should have taken me down to nearly 5. Just a shade under 5. So I'll take it down 0.8. Stop the lathe and bring it back so I don't get a spiral spring cut on the way back to spoil the work. And now here we go. Ooh, look at that. 4.1. Now I wonder if the drill has drilled oversized. You want me to find out? it hasn't. Good. First with the mic, and that's 1.5 hundredths under 4. And still won't. Oh yes, it does. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice fit. Right, I'll leave it at that. Can't improve on perfection. I'll just straighten up this. I thought I'd lost the edge on that cutting tool, but I was turning the lathe the wrong bloody way. That's much better that way. Now then, let me see how deep we are. .82. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll see how we get on. In the meantime, change that out for a chamfer tool. Gently. I think I know there, and I think it was 8mm. slightly oversized. Oh, carriage. Drop the gears down. Find the right size spanner. Yep, that'll do. That'll do nicely. Oh, I don't think it's deep enough. Yeah, that'll do. Right, I'll just part that off and we'll try it and see if it's okay for clearance and everything. I'll just turn the locating pin around just to put a chamfer on the end here and take the pip off. And of course the 6-jaw won't close up quite that far, so I've got a parallel shank ER11 chuck. That's the chuck key, which I shall put in the 6-jaw and then insert the pin in the ER11 and proceed to remove the pip first. Dicky switch. It's loose. Yeah, I thought I could get away without using a spanner on it, but that's obviously not the case, so I'll have to go and find a spanner. And another go. Clean up the face. Obviously there is an optimal size, but it's not critical. As long as it looks pretty, that's the main thing. There we go, that's not too bad. I'll put the ER11 collet to one side, and there we are, that's the finished locating pin. Only need one of those. And yeah, it turned out to be a locating pin. I think I said at the beginning I was going to make the pads, didn't I? But there we are. All's fair in love and war. Pads next. Well, it's back in the chuck because I didn't read the damn drawings, did I? And instead of having to be 12 millimeters across, it actually has to be, well, it says 10, but I think I'll take it to 9.5. Definitely got a dicky switch there. Let us try 10. Actually 10.1, so that's 6 off the diameter. Come on. Hmm. 9.5. I'll knurl it, chamfer it, and then that'll be it. And so back on the workbench, the pieces are coming together. And in place of a zoom, I'll bring the bits up to the camera. Next up, I'm going to make the pads, bearing pads for the base out of brass, and at the same time I'll make up the 2 pads that go on the clamps. A little bit of lathe work next then, just for a change, and I think that's nearly it, apart from final assembly. Well, that turned out to be more of a marathon than a sprint I thought it was going to be, so I'll end this part now, and next time in part 9 I'll hopefully have all the other ancillary parts made, and I'll show the table being assembled into a whole piece. So if you still are after all this time, and have been, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.